cool freaking rock song, uh, Silent Avalon again, because I just cannot get enough of that damn song.
Yeah, it's pretty good. It was gonna be the basis of the opening song to there. I think there was a game I was gonna do on Saturdays that basically was called Silent Avalon, and the
Mm,
song was based on that idea. Oh, not the song. The game was based on the song, and I was like,
mhm.
"Oh, this is cool," but the idea never got enough votes. So I was like, well, I still have the song downloaded, so I'm
I'll do
going to
something with
use
it.
it.
And then you did, and it was awesome.
There it is. I think you would just like maybe modify the station talent docking capacity.
Yeah, that's what I
Mm,
was thinking too.
something like that. That would work.
Pop, poster.
You'd still have external, that'd be external, but I mean, you'd have the capability.
Right. Very good. Here we go. Hi everyone, I'm AD Springer, also known as Corvidian. This is the Electric Metropolis video game tour, and today we're doing another episode of Star Trek Return to the Frontier, following the adventures of the USS Throlic in the TOS era of time, except this time I'll be guest GMing today, so we start off with a soft cold open, a lukewarm open. No captain's log, just a state of affairs. The current start date is 0202.9. It has been about 1 week since the crisis at the border from last episode. At present, there is a hand-to-hand combat exercise using the standard Starfleet Academy self-defense module, focusing on Vershan grappling and knife defense. Ship is currently at condition green, while on a standard patrol route of the region Beta 9. And it is a one-threat game. Because I'm the nice G.
Somehow, we're gonna end up at like 60 threat. I just know it.
Well, Revere's here, so.
Hashtag
Yeah.
goals.
Da, da, da. So, we cut to a portion of the ship. This is in Deck 10 near main engineering. And one of the areas have been retrofitted for sparring and grappling, as people have paired off to with faux knives with little electronic strips that when they strike at the person, it will give them a jolt to let them know that they got hit, and it'll be visible like ah. No real damage is happening, but it's a lot of trying to move around and trying to deal with an armed opponent, taking turns who has a knife if both people have the knife, if one person has it, and then doing the harder part, where it's the hardest part in this particular Andorian martial art, where people actually don't have the weapon at all, and now they're trying to grab at the other person's weapon that's stowed at their belt, sort of thing, so they can gain that extra edge over the other. At present, in the current shift, Lieutenant Commander Revere is in command of the ship. So you are ostensibly here, Revere, I imagine, just to. Well, actually, why are you here? You and the Doctor are here for some reason or another. Are you here to supervise? Are you here to manage the drill?
Uh, Doctor is here to oversee it in case there are any injuries.
Hmm.
There shouldn't be, but you never know.
It happens. It's training, but people get a little. Someone twists an ankle the
So
wrong way. Someone twists the
Yeah.
wrist the
falls,
wrong way.
falls wrong.
Yeah.
Yep. No, Revere is here is just kind of supervisory slash observer capacity. Also wondering when he's going to get his engineering bay back.
Thankfully, they took up one of the storage rooms, so they just moved some of the cargo to a different area on the deck.
Nah, they better move it back.
Yeah, that's part of the. And you have like big color coded padding on the floors. That way, they have a nice place to drop people and stuff like that. Because
Yep.
there's a lot of throwing, and this is the sort of training you probably would have gotten. You would have gotten, as it said in the opening there, for in Starfleet Academy. They would have taught you, like, if you have a security of 1, you were taught very basic self-defense. So a little bit of
Got
Vulcan
it.
martial arts, a little bit of Andorian martial arts, a little bit of Earth martial arts, a bit of Cation. It just so 1, you're familiar with generic self-defense.
Right.
Which
I
I
think my
think.
security's not
Go ahead, sir.
bad, but certainly is not my primary strength.
Yeah. That's why you see like medical people doing it and operations people doing
Yeah.
it. Security people. That's why security people have more of the mats because they do more sparring. But the other ones are like, no, it's mandatory. You have to come down every once in a while to brush up on your self defense, just so you're at least security 1.
Right. Meanwhile, the senior officers just do it by going to fucking planets.
Yep.
So what do the two of you do as you see people sparring back and forth and pushing each other and trying to disarm each other, being jolted?
Well, Doctor, I hope you haven't been busy today with this.
Uh, as as far as I've seen, they've been fairly model as far as Starfleet officers who are attempting to, I believe the colloquial phrase is beat the tar out of each other, can.
Tar?
Tar, you know, like again, I believe this is an old Earth phrase, like tarred and feathered.
All
Believe me,
right, Doctor.
that's one I heard quite a bit at Starfleet Academy.
Well, humans certainly are colorful, if sometimes incomprehensible in their idioms.
Agreed.
Oh, look at that throw. Well done, Johansson.
Thud. And the guy just kind of rolls on the ground. Yeah, you got me. Yep. Taps him again. Yes, you finished me. Thank you. Got it. Picks them back up. Kind of nurses their shoulder. And they reset again.
Fair enough.
It does seem, as you watch around, that everyone seems to be doing pretty well, actually. The security guys are having a very tense standoff, and they're wrestling back and forth. Not getting injured by sheer virtue of the fact they're actually both pretty good at this martial art. So these two probably do this when it isn't mandatory. Like, it's just a thing they do on their off time.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Because
Security jocks.
Yeah, Aratana drilled that into his replacement, so
right.
that's
right.
percolating into the security core a little bit. Mind you, I think the security of your vessel is not super high.
Yeah, I don't think it is.
It's weird for destroyer.
Oh, jeez.
You've been assimilated. Security 3, ship wide, so you know.
Yeah, it's as high as any other department.
Yep. Not a warship, but not a hospital ship either.
And as for some of your operations people, as they're battling it out, they're actually doing pretty well as you saw with the throw. It's a lot more fuzzy how they do it. It is this is obviously their refresher. So there is they did that throw wrong. Yeah, he's being a little too aggressive. Although Vershawn is a very aggressive martial art, as you can imagine. And
Is it
these
Vulcan?
hmm
Andorian?
Andorian, yes.
Okay.
And the medicals and sciences people are they're doing okay. Um,
Yeah.
they don't do it as much, but again, it's you just need it. The Andorians in those departments know the art, but everyone else is like, yeah,
Oh.
I do it because I have to. So just in
Oh,
case
so
some
would
Klingon
this
comes at us.
so would this be like, if this is an Andorian martial art, is this meant to be like a counter to the Ushan Tor?
Yeah, it's basically Ushan Tor fighting, but it's not focus. It's focused more about controlling the blade rather than using the blade. It's about getting
Or yeah, what
it's
to do if you don't have the blade?
yeah. And once in a while, it's just straight up an Ushan Tor type fight, but they've transferred it into any small blade. So, um,
Yeah, okay, that's cool.
which became pretty useful back during the war with the Klingons, because blade as much as people as much as the Klingons thought
Mm.
Starfleet wasn't familiar with blade fighting, it's like you have a variety of alien species that are familiar with melee weapons. They just don't
Yeah,
Yeah.
use it as standard issue.
yeah, Andorians especially.
Yeah,
Well, Revere will pick up a pad and put his name down for the next cycle of training, whatever, refreshing, whatever they're calling it, um, which hopefully should take place after his bridge shift or his command shift, whatever.
yeah. You type
Well,
it in because this room's gonna be set like that. This room's gonna be set like this for the day. Because
yeah,
tomorrow it's gonna be a different drill and they'll use a different part of the ship.
yeah. So
Mm.
I'll sign up for that. Well, Doctor, I think I'm going to head back to the bridge, and then once my shift's over, I'll change and come back down here and let security throw me around a little bit.
Well, I look forward to seeing it. I will stay down here, continuing to oversee.
Ah, it's Arizona, run!
You see Eritana walking in, earbud in his earpiece in his ear. Uh, Doctor, Commander, I have
Uh,
orders for the captain of the ship or the current acting commander. So, hold up the pad to you.
All right, let's see what we've got.
And, oop, I'm gonna. There we go. In season 4, you should see a document.
The scene guide.
Um, data files at the bottom. Data files season 4.
Ah, okay.
Yep.
1, 2, 3.
So, doctor, any injuries today? He says as he's waiting because it is a long document. He knows he's going to be there for a little bit.
Oh my lord.
well, Aratana, our lieutenant, I will say that this training is going well so far. No injuries. Um,
Have you put yourself down for training yet today?
I have not.
He's concerned about being tarred and feathered. Revere
Well,
says with a chuckle.
tarred and feathers. That's like they just add feathers to you, or
Well, no. They add tar and then the feathers.
well, yeah, that's what I said. Why would they do that? You have plenty feathers.
Uh,
Apparently, it's
it
something that humans used to do to each other. I guess, I don't know, maybe it was part of some mating ritual?
I don't think that's it.
That would hurt quite a bit, I would think. Tire's pretty hot. It'd have to be to play it. Ugh.
Oh. Uh,
Hmm. Well, if there is some time, then perhaps I will try a little.
I'm looking forward to interdepartmental training myself. I mean, it's always good to train within
Mm,
department, but it's when you start mixing match and everyone starts to have a bit more fun with it.
I see.
As probably memories of time on the Andromeda where Eritana tossed people around as chief security.
Jeez.
How,
Yes.
that's how you
Quite,
get precautions.
quite, quite fun, I'm sure. As he remembers it being Aratana, the one who is having the closest a Vulcan can have to fun.
Because he has a legitimized reason to just beat up his fellow crewmates. It's like, yes, you have security 5, fitness 12. Stop showing off, you Vulcan.
well, this is interesting. I'm assuming this is all in a simulation station, or are we actually moving the ship about?
Live exercise, Commander. And people are gonna get fitted with vests and little visors to do the full drill.
Oh, seems that whatever's going on, we seem to be doing all sorts of practices and drills today.
Indeed. All right. When does this operation kick off? I hand the pad back to Aratana.
He takes a little stylus and scrolls a little bit and taps at some areas. At your order, Captain. And you
All
see
right.
he's
I
holding it
didn't.
in that same stance that he does when he's testing people for security fitness. Even though he's in communications, he doesn't normally do that. But years in security service does that to a person.
Fair enough. All right. I didn't see anything about not letting the crew know this was a drill, or are we to?
You
Do you
have to,
have
but
other orders?
you'd have to because you'd actually. I'll give you insight command difficulty of 0 as you think about what the proper procedure is.
Yogi?
Because usually
Yeah, I
you're
mean,
not the one leading the drill. This is probably something you do once in a while when it's your turn. Because this is as
Right.
much a test of you as it is everybody else.
I mean, I imagine there are some kinds of drills where you have to like, you tell them we're going to be doing this drill at some point, but because of the nature of the drill, we can't tell you when.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Renowned Starfleet officer for a free hit. All right.
Yeah, you've probably done this drill, this exact drill a few times.
Okay. So yeah, and then we'll just roll flat. Hey, all sorts of momentum.
To generate.
Jomentum.
Oh, sorry. You generated 3.
No.
Let's give it to
Heck
someone
yeah.
here. Oh.
Boy, they're going to be confused when they enter the game next.
Ah.
They. So in this sim, you wear full on like vests that simulate hits, visors that go over your eyes, that give you
Oh
little
yeah. So there's
visual
no way they won't know.
indicators. The various switchboards are changed, and because command is the one that's authorized this, your ship has been taken as assumed to be on training, so the rest of the fleet kind of covers your absence because you're on a training drill for the next few hours.
Yeah, fair enough.
Because
Oh my God, wait.
effectively all your switches have been changed to not work the way they normally do. So so you can't accident. So when you fire, quote unquote, it just it doesn't actually fire anything. It's just simulating that you're firing.
Oh my God, wait. If we're having like the visors over the eyes, please say that it's like the sort of like the Spock helmets.
Yeah,
Ah,
with a little light above your head to let someone know this person's injured, and the little light lights up and flashes.
oh God.
Hey, there's no holodecks in this era, so they can't do a holodeck sim. It's like, no. We have to use the controls we got.
Fair enough.
It's so funny.
Um, I'll check and look how long this current session of martial arts training has to go.
um, it's supposed to be an all day thing, but when you activate the sim, everyone is alerted that you treat it as if it was a real thing. You're supposed to treat it as if it's an actual mission.
Yeah.
So it can be interrupted.
Okay.
People have to act as it's like people have to figure out on their own or by orders of their superiors. Hey, are we supposed to keep going? Are we supposed to stop? It's like, well, that's part of the drill is to figure out do people know how to respond properly.
Yeah, but I mean, everybody will need to get fitted with the vests and everything.
Yeah,
right?
so that's when they go to their duty stations, they'll find a proctor there handing out vests. It's like, oh, go get your
Okay.
tricorder, go get your Type 2 phaser, and then there's an extra person in there who's like, you need to put this on. I'm not here. Put this on.
All right. And do I like announce to the crew that we're beginning a simulation, or?
You said you would announce that it is a drill.
Okay.
And yeah. But after the drill's been announced, then people act as if it's a real thing.
Right. All right, Mr. Artana. I'll accompany you up to the bridge or I'll go to the bridge. I don't know where you as Proctor will be, and announce the drill, and then we'll start.
He taps at his pad, and then you see that he is the proctors are the ones that you'll know the proctors as well. I'll throw that out there for people who aren't wearing the vests and the helmets and everything. They have pads and tricorders and stuff as they're observing, so they're obviously quote unquote out. And you see him tap at his pad to check that he has received the order. Eraton is effectively not available for the rest of the mission because he's proctoring. Although he is available for the purposes of, hey, is this part of the test? Or, hey, what does command have to tell us? He is quote-unquote command.
Okay. Fair enough. So yeah, I'll wish the doctor good luck, and I'll head to the bridge.
If you would give me a captain's log, Revere.
Oh my gosh.
Ooh.
Captain's log, stardate 0202.9. Apparently, Starfleet Command has decided to test the Thralax crew's readiness in all sorts of ways. We started out with a standard martial arts refresher, and now looks like we're going to have a multifaceted, all ships simulation operation. That, in theory, anyway, will stretch us a bit. I have every confidence in the crew. I do have to admit that I am a bit disappointed that the first officer and Chief Helms person are not here. That will reduce our efficiency somewhat, but sure, I'm sure we can come through with shining colors. Here's hoping, anyway. In log.
Lose momentum as a new scene starts. So yeah, you each have the little helmet, the visor, the little voice thing, a little like microphone next to your face. Not for communicating with each other, it's more so the proctors know what you guys are saying and it's being recorded for the data tapes. You're fitted with these big it looks like a security vest, but there's big sensor pads over, and they're in the colors of your uniform. So red for Revere, teal for the doctor, and whose name I forgot immediately. Tweer.
Eggs.
To track, they are kinetic feedback vests. So if you get hit or hurt, you'll feel a jolt to let you know you've been hurt. So likewise, if you take stress, you're taking quote unquote stress. You are being shocked, and you could fall over or you could push through. And the vest will know that you're acting as you didn't get a fatal hit, you got a near hit or something like that. Meanwhile, you see Eritana as you get onto the bridge, kind of in the back, watching everyone, jotting down on his pad. Some people kind of looking over at him, and he just doesn't pay attention to them much. And then when they stop looking at him, he starts watching them.
Who is our... Is ops comms in this day and age?
Communications is its own thing. Operations is just a catch-all for any crew that isn't one of the specialized departments. But there's a communications department.
All right. Comms, give me all ship.
All ship I. You hear the woo whistle.
Yep. All hands, this is Lieutenant Commander in Revere, currently in command. Starfleet Command has ordered us to undertake a high-level simulation. This is a drill. Repeat, this is a drill. I'm sure that you will all do your best and make your departments and the fleet proud. Revere out.
Give me Control Command difficulty 1.
Okie dokie, I'll spend a momentum just in case. I don't know why I picked that up. I hated Joe Lieberman's campaign, but Joe Mentum has stuck with me ever since. There we go.
Yeah, you generate a momentum as you check your pad, and you get a readout report from your quote unquote first officer elsewhere on the ship that the all stations report everything's fine, everyone's prepared for the drill. And then it's in the simulated text, it reports the way as if you were under normal conditions.
Okay.
And then as you tap to confirm, your pad updates and it shows your quote unquote orders, your simulated orders.
All right. I believe the first ones will be orders to conduct SAR and H327.
Yeah, you may want to share your objectives with your fellow officers.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, I don't know how much this was, you guys.
You would... Yeah, the only objective really, actually you succeeded, so you know that you only share what makes sense. The rest, if it hasn't happened yet, then the objective doesn't exist yet in the exercise. So currently only the first and second objective. Once the first objective is called out, then the second one would appear.
Okay. Fair enough.
All stations reporting condition green, Captain. This communications out loud because they're supposed to do that.
All right. So I've just gotten the alert that as if we've just received a communication to head to H327, right?
Yep.
All right. Our first objective is to execute search and rescue operation within region H327. Helm, navigation, plot us a course. Helm, lay it in. uh, emergency warp.
And they set the ship to warp, and they go at full speed. There is no roll for warp, so you just kind of you automatically are able to do it.
Mhm.
You have a bit of travel time before you get to the area. The ship actually does go to warp. It actually fires off its which because it's a live
Right.
exercise of like what do you do during warp? How do you do an emergency warp? What are the procedures? With proctors
Right.
kind of shadowing people everywhere, watching their moves. People trying to pretend they're not there.
Comms alert the fleet to our movements and request that the Andromeda. Well, let's do the request that the Cirrus, who I believe is the nearest vessel, extend its patrol routes. The Andromeda to do likewise to cover our absence.
Acknowledge, sir. And you can give me another control command, difficulty of 2, as you're setting it. You're making sure your patrol area is being covered.
Okay, I think this is where I can use Renowned Starfleet Officer for a hit.
Yep.
Okay, I'm just going to roll flat and pray. There we go, so that's 3 hits. So gain 1.
So you have new traits, sim training 1, because you're in a sim. And you're conducting a sim, and patrol area
Aren't we
covered.
all?
Oops, I closed that. I need it. Come back. Oop. Okay, so you've made sure your patrol area is now covered.
All right. Sensors, as soon as we get in range, begin long-range scans of the system. Keep it up as we approach closer.
Anything you do, Doctor, while the ship's in transit?
I don't know if the situation that we are nominally supposed to be responding to is expected to have any casualties.
I'll give you Insight Medicine difficulty 1.
Cool. Do we do have momentum? I'll spend a momentum just because it gives me the reroll. Emergency medicine focus.
I wouldn't say so. This is more
Okay, fair enough. I thought
procedures and
anyway.
stuff.
Re-rolling that complication. That's why I spend momentum. So
Generates
that's
3.
4 hits. Yeah.
You know that the common procedure is to prepare your department for possible casualties, but you're more in a ready state. You don't know. You have to prepare them for a possible emergency because you're responding to a search and rescue. So you know you might be getting unknown number of casualties.
Hmm. Okay. In which case, Captain, I will begin preparing sick bay to receive casualties.
Very good, Doctor. Carry on.
Is that something that the doctor would be able to start doing here, or is this something where he'd have to go down to sick bay?
You could go over to communications. You could either do it from you could either set up the multi-role console to be like a medical command center for yourself, or you could go over to communications and tell them, "Hey, I want you to call down to medical. I want you to tell them this." Or you could physically
Well,
go to sick bay and do it personally.
if I have a multi-role console available, I may as well make it a medical one that I can interface with here.
I believe there is a called out test for that.
Once we
'Cause
get engineering 4, I'll have a dedicated console.
Yeah, so you do control Medicine, difficulty of 1 as you are of 2. Sorry, as you're setting up the multi-role console for medical command and control.
Okay, cool. Still spending a momentum for a third die.
Okay.
Cool. I get the momentum back.
Yep. You've now set up that console to be your medical command and control. So all the lights, you start churning off a lot of the, because it currently probably was set to engineering, but the current head engineer is just down in engineering. You switch all the knobs, you pull the various dials, and the various screens above you flicker away from engine management and warp mix, and then it turns into nurse so and so is doing this. Current medical status is this. Showing and then like a running tally of various medical diseases that could be relevant to your operational area. That way you have like 3 big screens kind of ready to go for whatever you need. All your old and the dials in this era they don't the controls are not marked in any way. You're just trained to know what the various joules at your console mean. You just know what is what in different configurations. That's why the multi-role control has like extra buttons and dials it doesn't really need, like a trackball or like a beaming out switch. It's like some of this stuff is never used at a multi-role console. It's only when you know what certain things light up and certain things shut off when you set it up a certain way. So you don't grab at stuff that doesn't do anything. But yeah, your console's set up though. So you can do all tasks related to your medical department at a reduced difficulty.
Cool.
And you don't need to constantly poke at the communications officer to talk to them. You can talk to them through this console.
Yep.
Ensign Kaufman, let's have security teams standing by to assist with SAR. Just get them ready. We'll get more details on what their loadout might be once we get closer. I'll be doing the same for engineering teams.
Say again, sir. Sorry. As the Kaufman looks over, they're in the middle of something when you said something to them.
I got to raise an eyebrow. Anything I should know about? Kind of gesturing towards the console.
Give me Insight Command, difficulty 2.
Do I have anything that will help me here? So I'll spend 2. I'll spend 3. Let's do a 4 momentum roll. Why not? That's why. I made it.
You noticed that Kaufman. They said what they said, but you caught in the corner of your eyes. You were kind of doing stuff that they were adjusting their helmet, and what they must have done is accidentally deafened themselves, and they couldn't hear anyone else on the bridge because they were hit in the ears, and then they had to fix their training helmet. And you know, Aratana probably doctor for that because that's improper use of training materials.
You 5x5 now, Ensign?
Aye, sir. She looks a little sheepish because that's like right. Crewman stuff. That's ensign stuff, cadet stuff.
Let's have security teams prepping for assistance with search and rescue. Just get them warmed up. We'll provide more information about loadout, etc. as we get closer. I'll be doing the same for engineering. And then I press the button on the command chair. Revere to engineering. Ensign Harusk.
Rusk here, sir.
Prepare engineering teams for search and rescue. We don't know exactly what we're facing yet. I'll update as we get closer. Just get normal kit for now and get everybody ready.
Aye, sir. Give me presence or... No, I call this control engineering. You're managing the engineering department from the command chair.
Okie dokie. What's my def?
Difficulty 2. You're setting up a a trait of a prepared engineering team.
Yeah, fair enough. This time I'll give you a threat for bold engineering.
Hey, I get more than 2 threat.
Need to get some command focuses. Yep. Okay, let's just roll 3, see what happens. I can fish with that whiff. Hey, there we go. 4.
4 on the 2, so you generate 2. Whoopsie.
Mhm.
It does have to go to a player. You're right, roll 20. Thank you. You have the trait engineering department prepared, as they have given specific instruction as to what is expected of them as per procedure.
What about medical and security?
Security, communications, helm, and science are they're doing what they're supposed to do, but they're not razor sharp because they're not being led by they're not being led by extremely skilled officers. You've covered every single base. Like as you see an extra thing, you're able to ping down to engineering. You forgot this. No, you forgot that. It's like, oh yeah, right,
Okay.
of course. Or actually, you don't need to do that anymore. We have a new procedure. We don't do that. It's like, oh well, I'm not wasting time on a procedure we don't do anymore.
Fair enough.
And with that, we change scenes.
Ah, the momentum. No.
Our precious momentum.
My precious.
Our precious.
Yes. Nasty game master says takes our momentums.
You get a report. No, he doesn't do this, but it helps me out immensely. Whoop. Your ship has arrived in the target system. Or is about to arrive in the target system. You're at the edge of its of the star system. Basic navigation basically reports that there are it is a binary star system with only one star that has planets around it. Then there's a far star, a companion star way out there, but there's no planets around it. It's just distant enough that you have to know it's there.
All right. Oh. Sensors, what do you have?
That will actually require a roll, which means you'll need to either one of you will be doing the roll or you'll be activating a support character.
What's the role?
It is sensors roll. Jeez, look up the book. Now, you haven't memorized every single task in the book. Jeez, I'll have to report you to.
I mean, if it's a reasoned science, I'm rocking a 14, which isn't too bad.
Yeah, for real. I mean, the only thing more I could bring to that would be did the reading, but I'm not sure I want to shoot that this early.
Yeah, it's. Oh,
That would be.
hey, or Commodore.
Oh, thank God.
Hey, I apologize for. I set an alarm for 6. I meant to set an alarm for 6 o'clock, and I set it for 7 o'clock by mistake. That's my fault.
It's okay. The GM just woke up too, so
Oh, did he?
Yep.
Yeah.
Well,
Well, I mean,
So what? Were
I
the
s-
two of you just hanging out?
no, we've been playing.
Yeah, we've
we've been playing.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay, okay. I'll shut up then.
No, you're in. Gain a threat because you're here. It's a 1-threat game. So from your point of view, Commodore, you were off shift. And what do you do when you're off shift? Do you do you go immediately to sleep the whole shift, or do you like wake up early and do some stuff?
Yeah. Well, you know, I, I like to keep on top of the Kathria, the instrument I play. I like to read. I like to, keep up with reports on the rest of the crew, make sure everyone else is doing okay. all those sorts of things.
Raise
But yeah,
eyebrows with your wife, you know.
I was gonna
well,
say, snoo
I
snoo.
wasn't going to say that one.
Give me I'll call
Besides,
this
it's only
fit.
once every 7 years.
Once you're loaded in, you can give me fitness command difficulty 0, as you kind of did some self care. You did your just like
Mhm,
normal. I'll start my morning
mhm.
routine and have a nice day before I start. You didn't start your shift right away because you're condition green right now. You're on a normal patrol. Revere is covering for you, and he's doing a double shift today,
Mhm.
so it doesn't hurt. You have a commodore's prerogative. You can take a little longer getting to your shift. It's fine.
Okay. Yeah, yeah. Who's to say, an extra 20 minutes in the shower is, if you get promoted this high up, you deserve it.
Yeah, and if it's not condition yellow or red, you're not required to be. You're the CO of the
Mhm,
ship. You decide when you show up.
mhm,
And it's like, what if I have to cover your shift? Sucks to be you. I mean, if you're really concerned, you can call me. But if it's not condition yellow, leave me alone.
mhm.
No one dying, nothing's blowing up. Okay, go away. I outrank you. Depends on the captain, of course.
Of course. Yep, I'm loading into roll 20 now.
Yeah. I see how it is. Show up on time for him, not for me. I get it. It's fine.
To be honest, I've been so busy with finals work, I didn't even realize the GM had canceled. I was like, I'd completely forgotten to keep up with the chat. So I assumed everyone else was playing, and that, like, I just looked at the clock and was like, wait a second, today's Tuesday, not Monday, right? And then my alarm went off, and I was like, oh, god damn it. Um,
Well, and I just assumed you're okay with Revere being promoted to lieutenant commander.
yes, I am.
Okay.
Fitness, use of fitness command.
Yep.
Um, If part of that involves my pastime in Thrya, because I argue for a focus in that,
I would take it, yeah.
it's the only time it's ever going to come up.
Well, hey, you can't fail it, really, so you're just
Mhm.
relaxing. Uh,
Yeah.
and as you're kind of zenning out and enjoying yourself, um, you're, you know that you hear, not a commotion, but you hear a lot of movement out in the hall. Um, but you don't hear an alert, like there's no yellow alert, and then, you actually feel under your feet, that hum that comes off the ship when it goes to warp. You were meant to be at impulse for the next like 4 hours. You're not supposed to be warping
That's
anywhere.
that's odd.
And
Yeah,
then yeah, no,
okay.
I'll leave it alone. I'll actually leave it there. That's all you know
Okay,
so
yeah,
far.
that's odd. She's trying to get into the groove of playing, this specific set of music, and she keeps getting. At first, she's just like annoyed at the distraction of people moving around the hallway and that she can't focus. And then the rumble of the ship going to warp, further throws off her timing again. And for a second, she's about to start strumming again to take the piece on again, and then she goes, "Wait a second," and then she realizes something is wrong, and so she puts the instrument back on into its case, and will begin to head towards the bridge, because I don't want to call anyone, because I don't want to assume that I'm not going to assume something is wrong, but I'll go check out what's happening.
As you're walking by people, you see your crew seems to be fitted out for a sim. Or simulated live drill. As you see people with
Okay.
the Spock helmets with the little light on top and the visor and the little microphone thing put up to their face, and they have like these big color like think like laser tag looking vests
Hmm.
that are in their department colors, um, and they move by you and don't say Commodore or Captain. They're acting as
Hmm.
if you don't exist because you're not kitted out for a drill. They're presuming you're a proctor, you're a tester. So you do in the simulation you don't quote unquote exist. Although you do
I
see
did
Yeah.
an
real
all call, I
proctors.
swear.
And then you see real proctors with like like those big clipboard pads, jotting things down, watching what people are doing, and then they go. You see one random one. Oh, Commodore.
Yeah, the Commodore, like, she's not upset, but she is surprised by this and says, I did not realize drills were scheduled today.
Commodore. Yeah, we got the official order received by Lieutenant Commander Revere, Head Proctor, Lieutenant Junior Grade Aratana. Did you
Um,
not hear the announcement, Commodore?
I've been focused on other matters, she
Oh,
says, and she motions to to look at whatever they're holding, the pad they're holding.
yeah, they turned it over. It's your pad as far as they're concerned. Commodore. And you're getting
Uh, Good.
uh actually give me insight, a reason or insight command difficulty 1 as you start. You have to scroll through the person's notes they've been doing for the last hour. Like, where's the thing that gets me the thing I want to know? It's in here
Oh
somewhere.
God. Yeah, and humans, they have such sloppy handwriting.
Yeah.
Reason command. Um,
Why is everything on your desktop? Use your folders.
It's also like a meter and a half long document.
double space your documents, you psychos. Take one momentum.
Sure. You're spending one, I presume.
That's what I meant, yeah.
Oh, you
And
got that. Oh,
do I have cautious command? I do. It never comes up because we never have momentum for me, but I'll take a reroll. Here we go.
hey, generated an
Sweet.
extra. So, do. No, not everybody. Because somebody is in the dark. That's intentional. Under data files at the bottom, mission logs, season 4.
Okay, let me pull that up.
So you'll see there's one that's locked off that only you and Revere can see because Revere was the CEO before you woke up. And
Mhm.
there is Phantom Vigil. That's what was happening before the drill started.
Okay. Uh, I'm going to assume Vershawn grappling is presumably, yeah, an enduring martial art. Grappling knife defense ship is on condition green while focused patrol route. It's been assigned as Proctor. Objective: search and rescue within operation. Identify and respond to distress signals. Encounter unknown vessels. Recover. So there isn't. We're not divided into two teams, but the people playing are on one team, and then the opponents are simulated.
Yeah, the computer
Okay.
will tell you, either the computer will tell you or Proctor will announce out loud this has happened. They may even
Okay.
walk up
Okay.
to someone and touch them on the shoulder and go, "You're hit. Go down."
I just didn't know if they. Yeah, I didn't know if we had divided into two teams or anything.
No. Although that is a drill that happens sometimes. That's worth asking.
One previously deceased survey officer will be introduced as a morale. Yeah, she will not hand the pad back because I need to keep reading this, and she's going to
Yeah, they go
say
get one.
thank you. Yeah, they can go get another one. And she's going to say thank you for this. And she's going to start making her way to the bridge, dodging anyone getting into the laser tag too much.
Yeah, there are a few looks of, oh crap, and people acting, some people like at a panel doing something, and then as you're walking by with a pad in hand, it's, oh god, the Commodore's a proctor. Oh god, I better be really sure I don't screw up.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, no, I'm reading up what I'm supposed to be doing. I'm supposed to be. You also know that if you are supposed to be part of this, if you are on shift. You
Okay.
can proctor because you're the Commodore. You choose whether you're part of a drill or not because you're a flag officer.
Hmm.
If you are part of a drill, you would grab a helmet and a vest to say that you're active. But if you're not, then
Okay.
if you're not suited up, then you, as far as everyone is concerned, you don't exist. If they're in the sim.
Okay. To access their own tactical training overload.
Door opens and Aratana looks behind him. Commodore? I'd say Commodore on deck, but he gestures at your lack of vest.
Revere kind of turns around and hears Eritana, you know, decide not to say Commodore on deck and faces forward again.
Revere is in the vest.
Yep, and the stupid hat.
Oh, and a hat. There comes.
Yeah. Oh no, we're all wearing those like stupid Spock helmets.
Oh my God, you're all wearing the Spock helmet. Okay. Yeah.
Mhm. Everyone,
yeah.
everyone who's doing this is wearing
Yeah.
one.
And laser tag vest with our department colors, yeah.
This is incredible. Yeah. Okay. Could you imagine someone who shows up partway into an event and then interrupts to join? But no, she's just going to nod her heads and say, "As you were," and stand next to Aratana.
It's so funny.
And then we cut back to map. Whoop. And put you guys a little bit forward. We'll mark that the Commodore is present, reading the document. Oops.
All right, Doctor, what do you see?
Oh yes, you were deciding. So if you're doing a sensor sweep, it is a reason science roll. You select a single zone to scan. Alternatively, you can do a reveal roll to, which is also reason science, to sweep around to see if anything's cloaked with it, and see if there's anything around you in long range that isn't obvious. So anything that's hidden. Alternatively, you could create a trait that gives you a general feel for the star system. So it's either the doctor rolling this or you're activating somebody. But it's reason science, no matter which way you're doing it, really. Unless you're doing a really weird trait you want to create.
Yeah. What's our
Yeah.
diff?
Depends
Any
what you're doing.
supports you want, I'll play because I think it makes more sense for the Commodore
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
let you keep the seat. So I'll play all the supports.
Yeah. I could do reason science if necessary.
Do we have a science? You've got
Uh,
Suzuki.
Tamir is
Okay.
already on the bridge. Why is she under science? Her science is a 1. Goodness.
You could have her.
Yeah, why don't you?
You could have her seat swapped out for the specialist.
Sure. All right. Operations Specialist Kenji Suzuki getting his science training in. We'll say, "Shall I scan the system, sir?"
Make it so, Mr. Suzuki.
What kind of scan are you looking for?
I'd previously given orders for to start scanning as soon as we got into long range. We know we're on the search and rescue mission, but we don't
Okay.
know anything beyond that. So, yeah, just scanning the system.
Yeah, just a general scan of the system for any traces of a starship.
Or, yeah, anybody in trouble. Yeah.
Yeah, or that too.
So it might be a reveal, I guess.
A reveal, yeah.
I don't know. These new rules, man.
Yeah, it depends what you're trying to do. You can do a detailed scan of a particular zone on the board with sensor sweep, or create a trait for a generic thing, or reveal, which pings which searches anything within long range of you to see if anything's hidden that I haven't revealed to you.
It's looking for a thing versus looking in an area for anything.
Yeah. So,
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah, I'd like a reveal to scan for starships, biosigns, and any hints of something that might be in danger.
Reasons.
Distress signals. Okay.
Reason science, assisted by ship sensor science, difficulty of 3.
Okay. This is a stretch, but could I argue for starship recognition on the grounds that I could identify a starship easier? If that's involved, I guess the problem is there's no guarantee it's a starship.
You're right. You haven't been briefed, so yeah, I wouldn't take it.
All right, starship expert.
I would not.
Yep.
Sorry.
Yep. All right. Take three momentum.
Certainly. 2, 3. Ship didn't help.
Did you say diff 2, right? Or did you say diff 3?
Diff 3.
Uh-oh. I spend my determination on um um identifying response to distress signals in unknown region.
Yeah?
All right. Then I'm gonna re-roll those 2 zeros. Suzuki, he kind of does the first scan, realizes he's not done it properly, and takes a second, refocuses, and tries again, and says, I think I've got a hit.
So these are all, because this is your edge of area zone, so boop,
Hmm.
boop, boop. That would be medium. Nothing there. Nothing hidden that's there anyway. And then the next step would be this area. And nothing hidden there. You are
And
aware that this
Suzuki,
is well, it obviously looks like a Class J planet. It could be something else, but
which one is
visually, that's what it looks like. It has a variety of moons around it.
which one is J again? Is that gas giant?
Jovian, yep.
Jovian. Okay. Then Suzuki will turn around in his chair and say, no signs of a ship or anything else in distress in the immediate vicinity, just a Class J gas giant with many moons.
Understood. Helm, take us into the system. Standard search pattern. Comms, keep an ear open.
Aye, Captain. Which zone would you like them to go to?
Isn't
Uh,
search pattern a con task itself?
Ooh, it might be. It'd be a trait if nothing else.
I believe that is like one of the con roles they gave in this version of the game, is that
mm,
search is just itself a con thing you can do.
Attack pattern, create trait, evasive, maneuver, ram, warp.
Okay, so okay, I might be thinking of something else then.
Attack pattern is probably what triggered that neuron. But I would consider this creating a trait for Helm. You could do that, and they could have a more efficient search pattern, which makes it easier for everyone else to find stuff because they're flying the ship in a way that makes the sensor that doesn't disrupt the sensors as much as possible. If you wanted Helm to do that, that would be someone would have to go to con or direct con it'd be a control con difficulty of 2.
do you want to maybe activate somebody, or we've got what, 4 total activations? Equal to scale, right?
Yeah, yeah, and you don't have anything that's pulling that back currently. Yeah, 4. It would be +1 if the XO was here. The normal is 4.
Yeah, I'll activate Ensign Oa, the Denobulan at helm.
You get to play
And
all the characters.
yeah, and he says, I mean, if one of you wants to take him, go ahead.
Yeah, go.
And he says, executing search pattern Delta 7 and begin scanning.
And this would be assisted by engines con. Makes sense.
All right. So control con, you
Control
said?
con I, difficulty 2.
Okay. Helm navigation or helm operation.
But yeah.
All right. 1 momentum, 2 threat.
Momentum, 2 threat.
Ship hit.
Person hit. So you actually generate a momentum at the end of that rainbow. So you've now created a new trait in the scene guide. Search pattern. So now the ship is being careful that it's trying to not. They're being very economical with how they use the engine, so it doesn't generate any extra interference when doing sensor rolls or trying to catch anything on subspace. Aside from emergencies, obviously. If you say go to warp, then forget engine efficiency. They're just moving,
So we know that these two outer bands of this pie slice of this quadrant are clear, correct?
Of anything hidden, yes.
Okay. Okay, so assuming we're moving at impulse, how far can one move at impulse?
Up to medium, so 2 zones.
Okay.
So you can either get to this
So-
inner band, or you can get to one of the other pie slices. Or go to this edge, I suppose.
If I had to take a guess, I guess the thing that we're looking for is presumably around one of the planets.
Not a bad guess. Yeah, let's get to quadrant 2, I think this is. I can't remember how those are laid out. Math has been a long time ago.
I
Did you
could
ping which one you're talking about?
Oh, sorry, I'm on the wrong clicker.
go
This quadrant. Yeah.
Okay.
So you want to shift over here, or do you want to go here?
Do that again? Yeah, over here.
Go.
Frame shift to full impulse.
It's actually quadrant 3. Okay. Because clockwise from the upper
1, 2, 3.
right.
Oh, 1, 2,
Counterclockwise
3.
from upper right.
Oh, of course. I knew that, everybody. I was testing.
What's a clock?
You impulse without any with any ill effect, maintaining your search pattern.
All right. Give us another long range scan. See what's out there.
Yeah, Suzuki, who looks a little nervous because he didn't succeed last time, is going to try one more time. Reason, science. He doesn't have a determination anymore.
It is pulled down to
what does-
difficulty 2 now because of the search pattern.
Okay, he'll give it his best
How-
shot. One momentum and 2 threat.
How does direct work in the new rules? Do you have to pay anything for it?
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, you pay one. You pay 1 momentum, and then you get to assist.
Okay. So, well, no worries since we don't have it.
Plus the ship, sensor science. So far, you're nailing it. You're just checking for
Yeah.
comp checking, really.
Ooh,
Hey.
well done, ship.
Whoop. So,
Good stuff.
Nothing. 1, 2, 3. Nothing. 1, 2. Wait, no, it's 1, 2, not 1, 2, 3. 1, 2. Sorry. 1, 2, nothing. 1, 2, nothing. 1, 2, nothing. I'll give you a freebie and say there's nothing there as well. You just got lucky.
All right.
Nothing here either, sir.
Think maybe we move to here and do it again.
Yeah, or perhaps we move like here, because that way we could start hitting other spots.
Yeah, fair. Let's do that.
So I'm gonna guess if it's not by this planet, it's gonna be by
Right.
this planet way over here.
And that'll help us get over here in quadrant 4 as well. Some of the spaces we didn't first see.
You impulse to your new location. You get closer to the yellow star. Flying by a couple of planetoid.
All right.
Oh wait, no, that's not there.
Uh,
I apologize.
Continue scanning.
Sensor
Yeah, do you
ghost.
mind directing? Because
Yeah. So I'll spend a determination to direct.
Determination to
I'll-
direct?
Sorry, Momentum.
and I'll spend the other momentum for a third dice.
Okay.
And I think it makes sense. Suzuki thinks, he has some funky gravitational readings, and he goes, "Oh, that's definitely a planetoid." And then only when they fly closer is he like, "Oh, wait, I just read that data wrong."
Yeah.
There's the assist. And then the ship.
Boy, those gravitational readings sure are funky.
Mhm.
So it looks
I'll
like
take
a-
the comp, GM. We succeeded, and I'll take the comp.
Starving him of threat, and he's only got 8. Sad.
So,
Well, we have to keep starving him of threat, or else he'll have more threat, and then we won't have starved him.
The words are coward. Oh, sorry, wrong game.
Oh boy.
Complication. You see a flashing warning light on your console as you do your scan, but you still succeed. So I'll tell you. So long range. You find a non-responsive vessel that is in a orbit, as far as the sensors are concerned. A vessel that is in orbit of a star, and is the reason you didn't pick it up with with just your generic nav sensors is that it's not moving, and it's very close to a star. So it kind of just blended in with the star's sensor reading. So unless you did a reveal, you weren't going to see it.
Yeah. Yeah, Suzuki is like his eyes forward as he's reading in all of the data that comes in. And then there's like that aha moment where he says, I've got it. I've got it. And he spins around to the chair and says, sir, I have detected a derelict vessel in close orbit of the sun. The sun's close radiation was masking it, but I have identified its coordinates now.
Beep,
Excellent.
beep, 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 beep.
And then he spins back around and realizes something's wrong and says, is going to check the error message on his console.
Reason science difficulty of 2.
Immaculate.
Science difficulty of 2.
Aratana makes a note. Looks under the Commodore, shows the notes. Delayed reaction.
Yep. All right. Hey, he is
No breakers. Oh my God.
He's a crewman in Con who's acting as science officer for this. He's doing his best to take a threat.
Certainly.
He's listed under science.
Yeah, that's his new department now. Not even wearing teal.
Oh, excuse me. That too was just a 1. I just didn't turn off the focus thing.
Okay. Marked down for cheating. Got it. Yeah, you're now aware of a trait, sensor glitching. The computer's indicating that that it's giving sensor ghosts. You're now learned that's the other reason you didn't see it. Whether that's a function of the simulation or that's the actual console glitching, like it just wasn't maintained properly. Either way, it's a problem. You're going to be seeing false readings if this isn't. Basically, anything to do with sensors is increased by 1 unless you fix this or get this fixed.
Yeah, I picture he